everybody. The skill that we are introducing today is juggling. Have you ever wondered what it is like to juggle? Juggling is the ability to throw several objects into the air, catch them, and keep them moving so that at least one is always in the air. Wow, isn't that amazing? Here's an example of a skilled individual showing his proficiency in juggling. Did you know? Juggling is an open motor skill because it is performed in an unstable environment. It is also a fine motor skill and a continuous skill, since juggling involves the control of small muscles and the action is repetitive until the ball is dropped. Wow, sounds tough to learn. Are we up to the challenge? Firstly, we would like to define certain terms that we are going to be using in our video. The term one cycle is defined as an individual throwing all the balls in their hand and catching all of them once. Our professional juggler will now show you what is one cycle. Before we go into the setup, we need to introduce the Joseph special. Since Joseph is already able to juggle with 3 balls, he will be taking on this challenge by juggling with 4 balls instead. This is the setup that we have. The participants will stand in front of the tape marker on the floor. After the ball is dropped, the distance from the measuring tape to the furthest part of their body in contact with the floor, usually the big toe or small toe, is measured. This is the displacement from origin. Additionally, our team used Kinovia, a video annotation tool designed for sport analysis to measure the range of throw of each person. This range is the height difference of the highest ball thrown and the lowest ball thrown, which indicates how consistent one is in terms of maintaining the height of each throw.
Here's a checklist we use to check everyone against. It consists of 3 different factors. First, the range of strokes as defined earlier. Secondly, the max number of cycles achieved in a week of practice. Last but not least, the body posture. This is measured with the measuring tape as described earlier too. Now, it's the moment you guys have been waiting for. 4 brave warriors, Joseph, Jolene, Isaac and Farhan, take up the challenge of learning how to juggle. Here's how they perform before learning anything. As you can see from the videos, our warriors are not proficient at all. Throughout the learning process, we adopted 3 different learning styles. Joseph and Jolene both adopted distributed practice, which involves spreading the practice out such that there will be a relatively large amount of rest between practice sessions. Both of them will take a 5 minutes break after every 15 minutes of practice. Farhan adopted mass practice along with intra-skill variability. He practiced sitting down for 1 hour straight without resting. Isaac adopted distributed practice along with mental imagery, which involves using all the senses to create an experience in the mind that occurs in the absence of movement. He watched other people practice and then recreated that image in his mind before practicing himself. All of us adopted whole practice throughout the learning process. Now, let's take a journey to see how they fared after many weeks of vigorous training. Here's how we fared after the weeks of training.
We will now dive into the explanation of training methods. The first training method is known as distributed practice. Distributed practice involves spreading practice out so that there will be time to rest. In 1978, Beddeley and Longman conducted an experiment to look into the benefits of distributed practice. Some of the found benefits of distributed practice include reducing physical and mental fatigue, increasing amount of cognitive effort learned from each practice session, and memory consolidation. The allocated resting time allows for each of these to occur. The second training method adopted is mass practice with intra-skill variability. The form of intra-skill variability that is present in this training method by varying the condition from standing to sitting. The theory behind this training method is that through intra-skill variability, it develops our GMP and we are adding more parameters of movement to our invariant features, and by varying the practice, it helps to the development of schema to modify the parameters. In addition, since sitting down is a constraint to the natural movement of juggling, Bernstein emphasizes the need for learners to explore movement solutions for the constraints domains, and through intra-skill variability, it provides more opportunities for perception-action coupling, which is the coordination between vision and movement, and this is highly applicable in the skill of juggling. The last training method is mental practice. Mental practice involves rehearsing the skill without observable movement, but still with the intention of learning. Mental imagery can be used at early stages of learning, as it allows people to learn problem solving and how to break down skills into stages. Mental practice alongside physical practice is said to be the most effective way for learning and producing performance results. This could be seen in our experiment as well. Isaac took on mental imagery, the cognitive specific type, alongside distributed practice, and not only was he the first person to successfully complete a cycle, but he also successfully reached the advanced stage for all three components in our juggling fundamental checklist.
Analyzing the results for our warriors from pre-test to post-test, we refer back to our fundamental movement checklist and we could see various improvements. Firstly, for Joseph, his range between height of throws and number of cycles achieved improved from a novice level to an intermediate level. His displacement from origin actually stayed constant as he did not move throughout. For Farhan, his range height between throws actually went down from an intermediate level to a novice level. This could be due to him practicing seated down, which is not the same condition when recording the pre and post test, and could be a possible explanation of this discrepancy. However, the number of cycles achieved increased from novice to advanced level. The displacement from origin stayed constant at the intermediate level. For Jolene, her range of height of throws and displacement from origin stayed constant at a novice level. However, the number of cycles achieved improved from a novice to intermediate level. And lastly, for Isaac, his range of height of throws and displacement from origin stayed constant at an advanced level. Additionally, the number of cycles achieved improved from a novice level to an advanced level.
Overall, we can see that Isaac improved the most as he added mental practice to physical practice. Farhan had a huge improvement in terms of number of cycles from week 3 to 4. Variable practice has been shown to improve learning in terms of retention. Distributed practice is said to lead to better learning and performance results, and this can be seen by Joseph and Jolene, both of who had improvement in the number of completed cycles.
No one is perfect, that includes our setup. Firstly, small improvements are still improvements, but are unable to be reflected in this checklist. For example, Jolene's displacement from origin actually improved from pre-test to post-test, but she did not move up to the intermediate level. Secondly, our sample size was very small and it is not accurate to say that one learning method is better than another. Everyone's learning style is different, but what's most important is that we find what works best for all of us. And with that, we have come to the end of our video. We hope you have enjoyed the video. Thank you!